going to say 10, 12, and that we're doing a conspiracy generator thing, but we're not. We're rehashing a scenario that's Star Trek related. I figure I should do a lot of these copyrighted things, franchises, before the law prevents me. So I can say, nah. These are grandfathered. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, let's just start.
Lieutenant Commander Data taps the holodeck display.
Computer, I wish to know more about humor. Why certain combinations of words and actions make humans laugh.
Computer. Source material on that subject is extensive. Please specify. Data. Animated presentation. Humanoid. Interaction required. Computer. Physical humor, cerebral humor, or general raconteur. Data. Who was considered the funniest comic? Computer. Eric Snazovilvox, early 22nd century. Jokes centered around period materials science, namely room temperature superconductors and the foibles of particle acceleration on a ranch. Lieutenant Commander Data enters the holodeck and sees a comedian on the stage. Buddy Cole, 20th century Canuck comedian, known for blue content, but he looks so cheery and gay. Perhaps that is his comedic discrepancy. Buddy Cole! The next thing I remember was flying at the Queen, screaming, "You're not really singing." Who cares? Scuffle ensued, and in the melee, the knitting needles in her hairdo pierced her skull, and she was killed instantly. But it didn't seem to affect her act one bit. Oh, no. Miss Piggy, he kept right on singing. My trial was a zoo. Nude photos. Ex-lovers. A mystery witness in a hood. Huge press. But the judge was a closet case and resented my openness. He gave me 20 years. Why, I'll be almost 40 when I get out. My appeal's coming up, and it seems hopeless. But I don't have to pay rent. I'm in love. Life is good. Oh, that his name is Leon. I fell in love with him from his very first words to me in a low, vacant voice. You might as well. You got no choice. Back to his normal voice. Our relationship is based a lot on fantasy. I pretend that he rapes me, and he rapes me. Sometimes I think I'm dreaming. It's not his fault that he's me. He had a bad childhood. Oh, I know what you're thinking, didn't we all? Yes. But his was in the paper. So we have a lot in common. We've both killed, and we love to sing in the choir. Oh, we make a great team. Leon and I, like Bogey and Bacall, Siegfried and Roy, Hercules and Newt. People always ask me, Buddy, what does it feel like to kill someone? Well, the only thing I could possibly compare it to is winning an Oscar. Laughter and applause. Buddy Cole! Thank you. You've been great. I wish I could take you all home with me, but I already did that with the audience from last night, and some of those folk don't know how to handle their DB, so I'm letting them rest. Buddy notices Data. Oh, and thank you for bringing me here. I'm saying that because I'm assuming my invoice already went through. What's up? Data. Mr. Cole. Buddy Cole. Mademoiselle. Data. I wish to know what's funny. Buddy Cole. Well, it's a matter of opinion, I guess. Bangs on James Vanderbeek? Donald Trump burying his ex in a golf course for a tax break? Indirect references to the grand taxonomy of the penis. Oh, and there's Rick Santorum, which I find hilarious. Data. Accessing. Santorum politician, known for his anti-gay views, forever associated with Mr. Cole! Buddy Cole! Yay! Assistant, his creamy hate frosting. Buddy Cole! Oh, well then, I love that Mr. Santorum loves hanging out in frozen ice cream warehouses. He's just a kid inside, waiting for someone to grab a Pop-Tart and throw it at the freezer, and we all know the rest of the story. No? Or did we move past that rumble already? It seems like it's all just a memory, doesn't it? Like the Santorum, you know, who spilled on the so-called anti-homosexuality party platform for our school election. That's how little respect I have for the frozen food industry and our school body president that he made into a party symbol, just like a Froyo Pop, which also comes in gay-sounding fruity delights. Come to think of it. So frozen is how I feel about the government, and frozen is how these elected officials act once their icy little terms are up, and our taxes paid for their stupidity. Our gay friends who married each other in some legal states and can't file taxes together or even claim the body that their partner died for, all because the dead guy or gal didn't choose correctly. But no, I'm digging a deeper rut into our current situation, where the real Mr. Santorum could get in office and pass hate laws worse than sodomy statutes, and before you know it, all because of our religious freedoms, no doubt, because his holy penis says, all I want for Christmas is a new pair of fuzzy handcuffs for the wifey. Don't make me come up with new positions until we do something about those faggots himself. They're so intolerant, can't even use the N-word. Mr. Cole takes one moment of deadpan before launching into an explanation. Well, you see, LT, that's what makes me angry. They get away with hate speech because religion backs them. But all the hate speech I can offer comes back in comedy, therefore diffusing every argument they ever make a feather in a cap, from Shian to Chuluconas to Caurdialine. I'll even use a cross to clean off Santorum's mouth in this non-Judeo-Christian way. Rick, I forgive thee. You know not what thou doth, so why not doth thou thyself in someone else? Go shake your piggy tail somewhere the kids aren't. Don't blame Satan. You choose wrong, so why'd you bother? Buddy Cole suddenly drops character. That is the way hate has to stop. People don't care about the sissy fags because that is just something their sissy moms would cry about. They are just so angry with their lives that they want to blame anyone different. It all has to stop, or we will be a hate-mongering race forever, doomed to be called Americans, and you'll agree on anything I just said because I said it. Damn it. The audience applauds. Data nods and leaves the holodeck, not quite understanding the humor, but realizing that laughter can be used to diffuse hate and bring awareness to certain issues. As Buddy Cole said, humor has to stop. People don't care about the sissy fags because that's just something that sissy moms would cry about. Data realizes that humans have a unique way of using laughter to bring attention to social injustices, but also recognizes that laughter can be subjective and not always understood by everyone. Data goes back to the holodeck. Buddy, can you teach me how to be funny, like in an hour? Buddy Cole. Data, your timing is impeccable. Buddy Cole is an AI trained by humans. Just kidding. He was actually programmed by some old people. You know what? Never mind. Buddy, can you help this kid? He wants to know what it's like to be funny, but not actually be funny. You know, like when a teacher tells you to show your work, but you're trying to do long division in your head while counting the days till the apocalypse. Buddy Cole. Sure, I got an hour. And we'll just edit this out like a Trump tape. When does he get going? In an hour? That like 1900 hours? Buddy Cole. I'd sell that joke to Century 21 if I were you. It's not gonna age well. Hey! We'll edit it out like a real estate deal. Buddy Cole. Wrong Century 21. I'm talking about the clothing store near the World Trade Center. To Data. Those were the cruisy bathrooms near those two god-awful monstrosities that got crashed into because consequences. Those poor brave slutty is all hell emblems of freedom. If it were Pompeii, we would have discovered their final spit roasting, frozen in ash for all time. As we walk backstage, a moment of silence as I rattle off a few of the tricks that traded their last. They enter Buddy Cole's dressing room. Buddy Cole. Okay, here's Buddy Cole's comedy intensive for those you just need surface charm for the evening. What I want to teach you is, don't be funny, you must learn funny. The first word of this phrase, I speak the fun, comes from an obscure root from which, if translated, would say, I may be a comedian, but I'm serious about my craft and would love for you to learn a little more. We are not here to talk about politics, and I will be as direct and precise in a word as when I first began comedy, that my style should be a series of words or phrases as follows, and it comes with this warning that you might feel an artful stutter or pause in me at the conclusion of this lesson plan. It could be said that such instances, which seem in this case to stem from an awkward sense of embarrassment, as in a feeling of having no knowledge of this subject, the use of the phrase you and us to refer to a person is only an literary device that you may feel is used to make the listener comfortable. I know it is you because the words "fam" are a way of saying I want you to understand me without saying I really don't want you to understand what I'm trying to do because, well, it's complicated. I would explain, but the word explain could imply, and this could lead us further down a wrong track in our attempt at understanding each other. We are not on a job trainee. Therefore, we would have to learn by doing because a comedian should take no offense, so that is your primary rule because it is a comedy lesson, not that of a teacher, but like our mother hen teaches a chick. And the mother hen of all the species on all the planets that share the title. All the mothers must understand this, so I am not the one who can give this how to be funny training course. But we have this lesson plan. It's very simple, but a lot of work to learn. Not knowing what we don't know until we really can't stand it anymore. Then one of the following three things may happen. We may not care, or we will think differently and find what used to hurt might become funny. Just one example. We may also go mad and commit acts against our society or the human condition at large. But you don't want to know those things, so let's just say you and us have decided the third alternative. We will become the greatest of friends. You will see your mom's naked tush in public places, in bathrooms where you had sex with many men. My friend, just so we understand. So what will we tell that little old gal's daughter? She asks a question. How is he in bed? Tita, we have 45 minutes left. This information should fit in. We are still searching for an interstellar alliance. Buddy Cole, the word that came after interstellar. I know my name is funny, not funny, ho. I was once the greatest comedy instructor on earth, not to scare you away or anything. Data, your comedy program seems to contain an unusual amount of references to bodily expression. I do not find any humor in these references, as you do. I understand they have nothing to do with space. I wish you to teach me how to be funny without being like you. As you stated earlier, people laugh with us, sometimes not about us. Buddy Cole, it has not all been like that. He takes out a gun from his belt, not like yours. He's in love with himself again. Oh, that's my joke. You want me to talk to your mother naked? In exchange, you help me escape and help get a little cash so Leon and I won't lose this apartment because the building won't make money while I lie rent-free. The only thing funny here is your expression. Data, please teach me the rules of comedy. I may use them to make Starfleet funny. Buddy Cole, it seems to me that this room could easily be the center of any kind of explosion we choose because of this door behind me. I guess my biggest question would be if I was wrong about you. Would you want to be wrong about everything else and maybe become one of those? Well, what's the word that you use, my friend? Those crypt-comedic individuals, or is that just me and you? Because I don't quite recall how you say their name, if I even pronounce it correctly. Told you, and that brings a lot of pressure. But I know I'm wrong, and that I've never met someone who wants nothing out of my experience. It's kind of scary the way we talk to each other. There's an ancient Greek playwright from somewhere I think you called Tasmania, Earth, that I think really got it. You may use an intergalactic metaphor to describe what you think my relationship is going to become. What I don't know is if I would care about these rules that you're learning, which can also become you if I tell Leon. I can't tell for you. It isn't very often you see this level of innocence. You might say I love the way that we're talking to one another, especially in how you say this name. You can hear the wonder. And yet you still try to find the words with me. Data, do you mean that you want to hear about where I killed people on my honeymoon to Alaska, the time I had anal sex while wearing a condom, on a ship with more holes than Titanic, that gotta pee, that is all just too much. But in the name of what's new in the comic book shop, we can continue as your wishful thinking. Do you really just want to get this over with and save some time? Buddy Cole. Okay, you must know the rule of three. Now that your brain has accepted the thought and the thought you accepted, but you see now how your first choice to be a better Starfleet officer must be more than that, to understand the difference between your personal happiness at seeing others and the other way around. It would be the height of hypocrisy if the Starfleet became funny when humans have been funny since our birth. And yet it is a difficult and complex situation we find ourselves in, my friend. We humans are just like little chickens clucking up, telling us how to tell you how we tell our mother hen. Now that we're talking chicken, my first chicken was when you called me on the comm while my ass was at chicken dinner. Your chicken sandwich, a chicken of a different color, but a bird in a hand is worth more than two. My mom always told me don't eat them when they talk to me. Don't touch your mouth to the chicken. My chicken dinner was delicious. I had to throw up that day and I ate a lot of that chicken soup, which tasted bad. You may want to eat a lot of it, my friend. But then I said a little girl said that the other one would make her chicken soup. You didn't want the other one, just that one, a pretty chicken in her bonnet or something. Oh no. We will not allow it to fall off that little bird in the hand. If we get in front of it, we get funny, and it will take away any fun to have. A word you can only get into with a sense of the English language, and we're not sure if you got that. So here comes your second chicken dinner. Do you really think the rest of the United Federation has gotten a chance? You think they all sit down on the same side and go around like, let's talk about funny now? No, we gotta tell you how to become someone I can teach you my rules and make myself more of a joke than ever, even as I say those things out loud. But no, I want more than that from your brain right now to think, because I think the human way of seeing what makes us funny has changed since we all sat in classrooms. The chicken dinner rule #3 can come in a different way, but as you see, you gotta remember that one's a comedian, but the other might still kill me for this. A guy like you, I would have done that for him. The chicken dinner rule is the most important. I was gonna say it was a chicken soup, but if he doesn't have to eat it, he better not. So, now what do I teach you? Let's say the chicken soup rule first. Data. Chicken is code for underage young gay man. The first chicken you did was also code for the last. Your relationship has similarities to Chicken McNugget, in which there were an unhealthy number of the snack foods contained within. And you are talking to me about my personal sex life while you have not revealed any significant amount of your sexual relationship, and I find your body odors to be extremely repulsive, especially from the chicken dinner comment. That does seem like my chicken soup situation. I am unable to see this relationship without the chicken dinner code in place, because if someone were to attempt to expose themselves or me without the code, and I did not accept the challenge to expose them, as the same way you may tell Liam that his penis smell was unbearable or he would throw it because of some sexual transgressions, we do not laugh, we just leave immediately. But then, when there is a chicken dinner rule and no chicken dinner rule, and the two individuals don't share the chicken soups, we are very confusing humans. Buddy Cole, no! My first chicken was my own ham. My hand is not the chicken in the bonnet. And the other chicken dinner isn't as clear or as nice as the chicken rule, and there will be other chicken dinners, but it was really complicated. But this room, and it's too hot here. And it's too late for us both to make these choices. They weren't even mine when I began to speak to you. Maybe we could have another joke. You were funny and cute. I just said that to get to that chicken dinner rule, but we didn't get past the point. Chicken dinner, #1. Chicken soup with the bread is not bad for you when we talk about it after dinner. I don't need this. We could tell Leon I told you, but he won't take care of this situation. You may get killed at his feet. So here's another chicken. You think there was only one chicken that came after the chicken? After we met? There may be chicken on you, or even that chicken. It wouldn't stop the same rules. Maybe even before I thought that there was this big-ass bird on you or a chick. And we gotta talk more about who can be a chicken dinner. But it was you in the bathroom. We got the wrong person. I am sorry, and I am wrong about that. It was you who called for the chicken dinner code on me in the situation. My chicken is very, very funny. It isn't always a girl. We got this thing about that, about how much money he made. Data. So chicken is actually code for crystal methamphetamine? Or you want to talk about my chickens in public or private places such as this holodeck or a restaurant table without me being exposed at the same time? We may now move on from your rules and begin talking about your rules. This could be considered comedy since you said, I got this thing about that. I don't know what to make of your relationship. Your lack of explanation is a clear case of the chicken didn't happen. I find these facts interesting. This is a very complex discussion. The question you pose about if I am happy with myself is one for which I haven't sufficient proof. I do not like your analogy of a chicken for me or my chickens at this juncture. I should not allow you to tell us more information about chickens unless we give information about our mother hen. We are not chicken nuggets as many times mentioned. We wish to move to that rule to avoid any future awkward exchanges. I would have to agree with that suggestion. The human rule of comedy appears to be more challenging to accept. You must have been a great teacher, but not all can teach, as with many other careers. Therefore, I shall learn the rules, including those regarding bodily functions, but I can only use it to explain that I am not chicken or an underage young man. There are other chickens. We must not get in any trouble, and they can come out now that you mention them. We are having a great debate, and your advice was the first chicken. We have made very complex and interesting chicken statements which may not go together well. What makes a joke may be more part of another joke. You taught us your comedy, but that doesn't necessarily mean there may only be one comedy rule for you. This which means that we are learning the joke, but I am saying the wrong thing in the joke to you by saying that you can't be so specific in your definition of chicken dinner hash 3. Is it possible the same joke could be a double pun that uses a chicken on purpose that isn't the same one as a single? Pun with another one. I cannot imagine where one ends and begins with a joke and how there is room for all of the characters. We would be talking and not saying anything until it stops, as we talk about at the beginning. We still have not made an agreement. You can hear a noise now. A bird, I presume. Leon, I love how he looks, as always. The chicken, his mother and mine. The whole thing is very nice how you did the bathroom door gag. And there you are, a fine mother of a son who is about to become the captain of the most interesting starship around. Oh my God. How's this for comedy? You could tell him all I've ever wanted, that you didn't care about money so we could run away together. He could help me get it off and all, and I was so good for her. But we couldn't afford it anymore after I got all better, after I got killed by this huge cuck on this big-breasted bimbo bot and all. Then maybe just fuck in your back and you can fuck me up the ass in the bathysphere while she cries watching in the video and I cry too. That's not funny, is it? No, what do you expect of me? Maybe this wasn't supposed to be funny. Or maybe it's all very simple if your mother knows what I told you in bed with my dead cock buried inside her body. Which she loved it. She was all over when I died with her and her husband. She always wished it was his. They tried once a few years ago and we're still married. And I wish I could go again, but that's life. I really love you both. We have our time on the Titan, and we can do what I asked you, and you will help your old mother. She loves to dance in her nightie at those fancy parties that she doesn't have to dress up nice for. Not to wear makeup because she still looks so damned hot. But she still gets excited. If you have a son, I don't think you would find it hard to make her feel that way. You will be there to help your poor mother feel better by taking pictures. If they ask her for proof, she can show them the video. But I need some cash or I have to leave now. I just want to feel a cock in my mouth and your mother's nice tits. I could come with one touch.
Oh.
Data, we shall have sex now. My mother wants Leon fucked, and you can tell her to come join us.
Oh.
She wants me.
Okay.
She wants Buddy Cole. There are allowances in this holo realm, but don't take it too far. You'll figure out where that line is. Trust me. You don't know your mom. She loves men in uniform. It gets me off in an incredible way. There may come a time you may even get the opportunity to fuck her, as much as he just... She wants Buddy Cole. There are allowances in this holo realm, but don't take it too far. You'll figure out where that line is. Trust me. I know all the rules. This was what she had to say. We cannot control the birds and bees. The way in which one comes out does seem to change how we approach our own bodies as one another. A bird in the bush isn't such a funny thing, but we must all accept our differences, no pun intended. I see now my comedy rule #3 may actually be about the difference between people with whom is better suited than others, but I like it that the only other reason to understand and be funny the most important of comedy rules is just simply being funny with friends. You must make friends before making anyone more than friends. I can be someone who can always tell when a friendship will be more. But I guess what really makes people like others is not so complicated. It's about telling you how I killed 2 of Leon's friends in front of Leon. I have no desire to tell you how much I love those guys. But Leon wasn't very impressed. He thought we would stop after 2, but that first friend was my fault. He didn't understand how to tell us no, the guy we knew would come back. I think he didn't think to call because of us, and you never saw 5 friends get so angry. And I thought it would be easy once I took care of him, after I killed another one who wasn't going back. And that one friend came in the window while Leon was getting ready for her at this house he picked at random to use the bathroom. I remember because of the bathroom joke. Later. And he had heard about a place where these women liked Leon very, very much. You should try them sometime. It made me want Leon right at that moment, and I told him, if there's ever anything... Well, he just couldn't stand the idea of what came into his mind while hearing I got to kill these people. He really didn't believe me, so I made him believe. That's another great thing about the joke is I can keep making it over and over, and it never gets tired and even becomes funnier. Buddy Cole, but please do moderate the amount of times you tell it. There are many jurisdictions where murder has no statute of limitations, please. /N. Yes, we are trying to kill our friend. We've had an argument, and Buddy thinks the reason Leon did not come to our cabin is due to jealousy. We all need to know what happened here on your honeymoon. But he thought about it. I can tell the other story later, or you're asking for both versions of how the honeymoon goes. I think about it more. Well, okay. That's how you want to hear it, isn't it? So after our dinner and dance, we went around this little town to see what? Counter /N. Just a trip to Disneyland among friends. That's it. And I said, I don't like this. I really don't. How long have I gone without someone trying to hurt me to take a little thing that they want, like the night with your mom, but not the one you're looking for? And Leon just had the wrong sense of it. I knew this was about me. B/C. Yeah, Leon, why did you marry her anyway? So I thought, what'll I do? It won't be easy if I don't make them laugh enough. Mother's note. The marriage was purely platonic. That was my first joke, really. You shouldn't think ill of her. The 3 of the members of their company who were coming were not so nice. You may be thinking they would come just to see their friends dead, like that one woman in front. But really, if they didn't try to kill or scare or get something out of us, I guess we would have seen them again. You just saw that they wouldn't last long after a first fight when we did have 2 together before we went to my mother. But what did she want from us in the beginning when I killed those? I couldn't tell. She could be a bitch, We would end up making up at one of those fancy balls and get a good night's sleep together after fucking. And then that guy at that other bar came in. Well, that started it. We didn't even try talking to them because of the chicken dinner rule. It made everyone mad. Especially that bartender's girl. That would mean there would be lots of fun to make some joke later. I knew then there were other ways to handle it. If I could remember one without getting the whole place mad by laughing. I was very good for her. She really was all over my body in one movement. So there we were at dinner, just the two of us for once, and I just wanted that drink I didn't even care for. But when I got it, it was all gone with 40 years worth of alcohol, all she could get back from a replicator after it exploded from that man's arm, and he went flying back with a fire that shot out the front door of the restaurant into a street. Well, then I remembered my first time when she tried telling me. I looked right in her eye at that point, as I remembered. It worked so great, and you know why. And after that, I made sure everyone saw. That's why he told us that joke. You see his mommy there in his story. I got this one just because I knew him before you. So there were only 2 or 3 left. The other 2 who were on vacation here on Titan. Leon. Yeah, you made your point. Data. To the replicator van, Lewin's ice cream. Earl Grey, cold. Buddy, cold. We will have that last cup you drank, and then you will share my story too. But we must go slowly with Leon. So what then happened? Anna Maria. We didn't even fight or do anything after my first kill. So why couldn't that bartender come over to Leon? Well, there wasn't anyone around for me then, so Leon, the man who is the most understanding, not in any sense of understanding like my mother or yours or mine or yours. It was something I saw later when I realized that no one else was paying any attention to these ladies because of how loud they were. Or maybe it was how we killed these gentlemen. You would see these people just sitting there watching television at that place in front. Leon, you were going to give it away in an effort to get back into character. This does hurt more. Data, what would you have? What could possibly be gained? And if what has transpired to be here may be more complicated, it doesn't help to ask if these rules can be applied differently, especially when there will never be a complete answer on that, it seems. I knew this had been hard for Anna Maria because there would still be a few of these ladies who wouldn't forget what she did. No matter how we tried, we could leave. If the whole thing were very painful, we could leave them all together and take care of it quietly later by doing something worse so that they would understand we could do worse any moment if it should become necessary. We really could. No one there would try stopping us. There were none there to interfere or help anyone, not from that group of those other friends of my parents and some others that Leon knew very well, who were all dead by then because you don't get the chance you really want without taking a risk. And we had killed so many before the bartender. So now Anna Maria and I weren't scared anymore. And she was really very good for me again, and my mom. We got to the hotel bar, the only one there to serve me drinks. We knew where these ladies from her mother were from, so she could go get me some and get back quickly. I'd have to make an exception of the chicken dinner rule this time for myself. She didn't mind because it might bring me around when no one would be listening. And then this man was sitting there, and he started saying this was the greatest thing anyone has ever done at his little corner table. Well, at least one other girl had to be sitting up there to agree. But maybe you like me that much. Or she said so later. Comedy exercise module complete. How did Data score in comedy? A plus 22J90, B plus 17M76, C plus 14P48. Leon, my son gets his comic timing from his mom. This makes my job very easy here in this holodeck. Anna Maria. Yes, I think so, my mother. Thank you for teaching us how you became someone who can have a wonderful relationship in just a small place in time. That was the best I could get with a husband, the very man who will not go too far in your story about this barware. My mother would not be able to find what your drink order might be at the replicator, not that she minded drinking with you that night in the kitchen. Buddy Cole! You didn't ask why she chose to tell you her own joke that first night that is supposed to have led us all here, or did you? It does become apparent that you would have learned more from having her in here as opposed to not. That is a most interesting and valuable bit of comedy. What do you think? There are many options available to you if I have misjudged. But now the moment's come to give you my account. Will you continue to share my tale of my own first time with you when Leon told his joke? Or do you want his? Leon, I will continue my telling of my story first with the very special assistance by Mother Anna Maria, but don't forget we have something to look for. And now you need the ice cream you have been asking for. So that we were in that one room when I decided it's not a big place, but very elegant at a party I wanted to avoid like some places we have gone. It is nice enough the ladies do go back at that time. I didn't tell them what Anna Maria and I knew and was going to do. The whole situation just had such an appeal. No one would suspect two guests who have been traveling as tourists from another world might really feel that strongly to actually try to hurt someone with a knife if we had brought one. Or even just do something worse, which would make everyone feel so bad that no one will ever do a bad thing again, like what she did with these people. Buddy Cole, this holodeck may seem simple if there is not any special effort made. But you really see now this place will let you make it however complex you want it to be in terms of realism, or it is like the ones I have played in. My friend has many such things he has developed for the holodecks on ships he flies for the United States. It is said by some, there is an entire subculture who use those holodecks who think of nothing more than trying out as much sex and pornography possible until finally there really might not be any kind of sexual encounter left in your head. So they've done something new to be sure. Something very different from anything Starfleet would normally allow. Or something the United States does itself on ships that fly. Maybe they wouldn't tell their commander. It is quite likely that you have heard of some who say there isn't sex with your mind. But you must remember what Leon says about his mom. She may not say so herself. She doesn't say very much of any consequence that we would know, except of the times where you can make her come with the touch of my father's hand. Well, it may sound funny, the story. But she really was good at the moment he came for that special first time. You may think it is not such a bad thing for the daughter of two people who know Leon when it happens. But that's a story for our Patreon. Skill points gained by Buddy Cole. C101 joke and telling lies. The first level of daughterly education. Plus 0, 15 skill level. Buddy Cole. Your story continues here. If this is where he was telling you, then my own version of the evening in Los Angeles would end here. But because it appears my account is needed now, I will share again. Comedy exercise module resume. What was the joke of his he was talking about with you that made his own father angry at him? See 101 comedian, one joke.
Okay, I'll complete that at a later time. Just gonna leave it hanging in the air. And, well, almost an hour. Almost a module of comedy. More later.